All right, so for today's class, we are looking at standard AREI, which really just focuses on extraneous solutions. We'll just make it simple. We're going to be solving equations with absolute values, square roots, or just rational equations with one variable. It will be very simple. We've been doing this. We're just going to continue working some problems. So our learning intention for today states that we're learning to solve equations with one variable with absolute values and square roots. I will be successful when I can properly perform the first step to solving absolute values and square root, because we know that first step in how we solve equations can be very important. When we start understanding absolute values just a little bit more, and then also when we properly apply the inverse of square roots, we'll go through some problems, and then after that, we'll attack some of the questions on the worksheet. So you say I'm going to do the additive inverse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what would that be?
Um,
I don't know if I lost connection. Did I lose connection? I think
you might.
everyone froze on my side. I don't know what happened. What did you say, Renee?
I said, um, turn the positive 8 into negative 8 and then
Yes.
negative 8 to the 16.
Yes. Why am I putting it on the right side?
Because whatever you do to one side, do to the other.
Yes. Cool. All right. So everyone else, yes, I'm seeing. Yes, Adrian. Yes, Taryn. That's right. That's good. I'm seeing the chat. So once you put it in there, I'll see it as well. So what my next line, my additive inverse was performed. I'm interested to find out what I do next. Let's see who pops up on my screen. What do I do next? Keely, you're at the top of my list. How are you today? What do I do next? Everyone else, you could put stuff in the chat. I'll see it. Yes, that's right. Miss Rice, that's right. Keely, what happens next? Yeah, Keely said, ooh, I'm getting some people saying square it and get rid of the square root. Ooh, I think we're overlooking something. Miss Rice, you hit it right on the target. There it is. Miss Rice suggested that we divide by 2. All right, we divide by, so we divide by 2 because we want to get rid of this 2 right here. All right, so we have the square root of x minus 3 is equal to 4. Now, Keely, what you mentioned before would go ahead and perform that one. All right. Elijah, come on, the floor is yours. What's up? What's next? Come on, Elijah.
We get rid of the square root.
And how do we do that?
Trying to think of the term, but we multiply it by itself.
So what is the inverse?
Square it.
What is it called?
You square it.
Yes. So tell me what to write. I'll write exactly what you tell me. So you said I'm squaring this right here.
Yeah.
What
And
next?
you have to square the 4 as well.
Okay. Now what would my next line be? I'm gonna put it up here. Just get some space. What would my next line be?
X minus 3 equals 16.
X minus 3 equals 16. Okay, that's that. Does anyone remember the property for what I'll do next? What is the property called for what I'll do next? Let me check the chat box. Yes, Renee, yes, Keely. Adrian, Mallory, and Tabadrik. Where y'all at? I'm trying to see y'all. Yep, that's right. It's called the, there we go. It's called the additive inverse. I'm seeing people say I do +3 on both sides. So then x is equal to 19. I'm going to give us a couple seconds so that we can soak that in. I'll go ahead and pause. All right, so for this first question, we want to get rid of that denominator. We say it all the time. That denominator can be ugly. All right, so let's get this out. Oh, wait, let me pause the recording. All right, so we're going to do the multiplicative property, the multiplicative inverse to solve this. All right, we're using the multiplicative inverse because we want to get rid of the 2x minus 1 that's in the denominator. So I have 2x minus 1. And whatever you do on one side, sure enough, got to do it on this side. All right. Why is it that I'm putting my 2x minus 1 in parentheses? Why am I doing that? Why didn't I just do it without the parentheses? Or can I do that? Let me see what. So I'm going to resume my recording. We want to put this in parentheses because the 2x minus 1 that was in the denominator, that's considered to just be one term. And since I'm multiplying it out, and when it goes to the other side, I have to multiply all of it with the 5. All right, so someone just sent it in the chat. We'll do the distributive property. All right, we know that these two right here cancel. So I'm left with x plus 3 is equal to resume. So I'm doing the distributive property. All right, like you said, I'm doing the distributive property. If I'm doing the distributive property, what would my right side of the equation be? Let's go ahead and put that in the chat. I like that you guys are just sending stuff. I'm trying to keep up, I promise. So if I do the distributive property, yeah, 5, that is 5. Okay, Rice, yes. Thank you for correcting that. I'm resume recording. Right here it says 10x minus 5. I'm going to pause. Second, and resume recording. You said minus 3. And where do I put this minus 3 now?
Right under that one.
Under which one?
5.
Yeah, the minus 5. Do you know why I'm doing that? Why am I moving that 3 from the left side to the right side? Why did I decide to do that? Why are we doing that? We're getting multiple ways in where we could do this, which is good. We just need to follow the operations, all right? There's so many ways. I could move my x's. I could put the x's on the right side. I could put the 5s on the left side, the 3 on the right side, whichever way. Ultimately, Taryn, I hope you're listening. Ultimately, I just want to group like terms. All right, so I have x equals 10x minus 8. Taryn, since you're on a roll, I think you're on a roll, okay? What do I do next?
U minus x from both sides.
I'm going to minus x from both sides. So are we trying to put the x on the right side as well with the other numbers?
U minus 10 from both sides.
You minus 10. Okay. You're breaking up a little bit, but I think you said minus 10x from both sides. Why did you, I'm interested to find out, why did you switch from minus an x to minus an 10x? Like, what's the difference?
X has to equal something.
Yes, x has to equal something. Snap, 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 snap for Taryn. X has to equal something, so we have to get the x on the other side of the equation. So let me, I'm going to switch up colors right here. So I'm going to minus 10x. Mr. McKnight, right? So big, I'm running out of space. I'm going to move it up here. So what is x minus 10x? I'm seeing it in the chat. Colstrom, recheck yours where you have 9x. What is x minus 10x? Remember, we have a small positive minus and a big negative. Yes, that's it. Minus 9x equals negative 8. Kiajane, check yours again. That's Anissa. We got to be very careful with these signs. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Ta-na-na-na-na. Who's gonna be a lucky person? Tabadrick. Yes, Felipe, that's right. Tabadrick, we're right here with this equation. What would be my next step? So we divided by -9 on both sides, so we could get x by itself. And then we could leave it as x is equal to 8/9. We don't necessarily need to put it in decimal form. We could just leave it as is. So that's basically, again, just working some of the questions that were on our worksheet. But ideally, we want to focus on, let me stop sharing and I'm going to pull up back the success criteria. Share. Right here. All right, ideally we want to focus on how to properly perform the first step, the right first step. We didn't necessarily get to go to absolute values today, but we'll pick up on that on Thursday. But also applying the inverse of square roots the right way. So if we go back to those two questions we answered, one of them had square roots, and we talked about applying the inverse, which is squares, and then we also focused on how to do the right first step, or what is the first step we're going to take and why. All right, so we go through that. I want us to now in the chat send me a quick thing based on making an appropriate or an easy first step when we're solving questions. How do you feel about trusting yourself in making that right first step when solving equations? Just a quick thing. Tell me in your own words. There's no right or wrong way to say this. You're basically just expressing how you feel about solving questions with square roots and just making the right first step. Okay, Kiajane got your response. Felipe got yours as well.